everyone, it's Jordan, and today I'm going to be talking about my cozy reads for Bookmas Day 2. Since it's winter time and everybody wants to be all cuddled up in a blanket with a warm drink or sit by a fire and read, I just thought I'd talk about my cozy reads since some people have talked about their cozy reads, and I know there's a lot of books that are my cozy reads, but I narrowed it down to 8. So I narrowed it down to 8 to 10 books. I don't remember how many I picked out, so let's get started. Also, a lot of my cozy reads is fantasy, but I read other genres whenever I feel like it. Again, let's get started. The first book that I'm going to be talking about is To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. I just love this book so much because of the romance and Laura Jean. I could relate to her because I had a million crushes in high school and I wrote some love notes to them, but the ones that I mostly write love notes to is to my boyfriend, and reading this, I just felt really had a fuzzy feeling, especially when it comes to romances, and I just think this is one of my favorite books of the year, so I just love it so much. The next one I'm going to be talking about is Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. This is really odd because this is a fantasy book, but it's also a retelling of The Little Mermaid, and it's obviously about the sea witch. I just couldn't put it down when I read it. I read it within 3 days. I just could not stop thinking about it, and it just makes me want to reread it because I love it so much. And again, and some fantasy books give me a cozy feeling, and this one gave me a cozy feeling after reading it within 3 days, and I just, again, this is one of my favorite books of the year, I think, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. The next book I'm going to be talking about is The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks. This is the second book of Nicholas Sparks books that I ever read, and all of his books just gives me a cozy fuzzy feeling because it's basically romance novels, and I definitely want to read more of them because I have not read all of them, and that's my ultimate goal. And this is one of my favorites out of all the Nicholas Sparks books that I've read, and I just can't stop thinking about the romance between the two characters, and it just gives me a fuzzy feeling. The next one I'm going to be talking about is Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. This is another retelling that are also my cozy reads, and this is a retelling of Anastasia, and it takes place in space, obviously, and after reading 2 of her books, the characters just makes me feel fuzzy, especially the romance between the characters, and the setting of just makes me want to go there, and that's like one of the reads that I liked whenever I want to pick up a book. And yeah, this is one of my favorite books of the year, that's for sure, and I just could not recommend this to anybody who's looking for another sci-fi read. The next one I'm going to be talking about is My Lady Jane by the Lady Janies. When I first heard about it, it's really funny, and I just needed some comedy, and I've read this on audiobook, and I could not stop laughing for what's been happening with the characters, and I just can't stop laughing. And it was so funny because it's a historical fiction with a fantasy twist where people turn into animals, and it's hilarious, and I can't stop laughing, and I just love the characters, and I just love everything about this book, and I can't stop talking about it because it's, again, probably one of my favorite reads of this year. The next one I'm going to be telling about is Hunted by Megan Spooner, and it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and again, another retelling that's giving me cozy feelings because not only this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, this is a perfect read for the winter because this is one of the books that I read in the beginning of the year, and again, it has a wintry setting, and I think it's a perfect read for the winter. And I've also read this on audiobook, and I could not stop thinking about the characters and the world, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just love this so much. And again, it gives me a cozy feeling, and this is one of the books that I definitely would want to reread, same as the other ones that I mentioned, just because how much I love them. The next book I'm going to be talking about is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This is really odd because it's a dystopian where kids are forced to go in the arena and kill each other to death until there's a winner. But I've read the whole series multiple times in my life, and I can't stop thinking about how much I love this, and I still love it to this day. And it's one of those books that I definitely want to reread over and over again because it's one of my favorite series of all time, and I definitely love all the characters and everything about this book, despite the all the concept of the Hunger Games. The last book I'm going to be talking about is By Your Side by Casey West. I haven't talked about this book in a while, but I definitely want to read more of her books because I enjoy this so much, and who doesn't want to get locked up in a library with a boy, because I definitely would love to. And of course, it has to be my boyfriend because I love him so much, and I could not stop thinking about the chemistry between the two characters that are locked up in the library, and of course, it's romantic, and again, I just love this book so much, and I definitely want to read more of Casey West books because I'm really curious if they're as good as this one. So that is all for my cozy reads. I know I would have picked Harry Potter on the list, but I want to pick books that are other than Harry Potter. And if you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up and comment down below some of your cozy reads because I would like to know. And if you want to follow me on social media, I have Facebook under Last Reader, and I have Twitter and Instagram on LastReader19. I also have Goodreads, which I'll link down below. If you don't want to miss any of my new videos, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!